What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on this motherfucking YouTube shit. Wow, what the fuck?
What's up? It's your boy. Can't tell YouTube shit. Hey man, say man, we are lit A. Let's team man, turn to one for day. So you know how big crip in the game, so you know how shit, man. Free Palestine, free Congo, Russia, do your thing, and Texas stand the fuck up. These days, you may be a better version of yourself. Never let somebody bring you down, always fight back. Never let somebody tell you who you are, but also put yourself in a position of alone. Just stay humble. The Grand Revolution on the movement, keep y'all first. Coming to the Black Hebrew Israelite as a real Jew. We out here. Alright, boom. Today, 2 months ago, today, you're hitting outside big crip in the game, so you know how shit, man. Gang. Turn up. Alright, gang. Bruh, I don't know what it is with these rappers and politicians. Like, we know rappers are kind of smart. You know what I'm saying? A little bit. You know what I'm saying? They ain't the most smartest niggas in the world. But they know something. You know what I'm saying? Because they be in circles, you know, they got money on movement, you know what I'm saying? They get a manager to do all this goddamn bullshit. But, you know, people listen to them because, you know, they speak shit. And, you know? But, so we got Nicki Minaj. You feel me? She is backing Donald Trump. Which, like I tell y'all niggas, man, I always say this. Democrat and Republicans are ran basically by the same people, the fake Jews. So it's like the government in general is like, bruh, it don't matter who you vote for. It don't matter who anybody support. If they want something done, they gonna get that shit done, however it goes. And people been talking about this shit, man, and like, bruh, the gold card and all this goofy ass shit, nigga. This shit is diabolical funny, nigga. Let's get straight into it. To sage this, we've been talking about how Nicki Minaj, man, she turned full MAGA on her asses. At the same time, man, what did I tell y'all, nigga, man? Democrat and Republican, man, are basically the same shit. We gonna get the same shit out of either one, you know what I'm saying? So, hey.
United Nations was a MAGA flex. Trump on the text. Y'all should be afraid of what I'm going to do next. That was a tweet from Nicki Minaj back in November
It's all ran by the same shit.
In support of Trump and his controversial claims about the persecution of Nigerian Christians. The tweet was a reference to Jay-Z's 2009 track Onto the Next One, where he raps, Y'all should be afraid of what I'm gonna do next. For many young people today, it may be hard to believe just how popular Obama was, and some have pointed out that Nicki's tweet, while disappointing to many, is actually quite reflective of where we are today. Everywhere we look, celebrities are either openly aligning with far-right ideologies or just refusing to denounce them. But how did someone who famously said, "Island girl, Donald Trump want me go home," now seems to be going all in on Trump in the far right? How did someone who used to cringe when asked about MAGA now support a movement that is actively harming the place she's from? How did an artist who is undeniably seen as the queen of rap fall so far that she is now being compared to Kanye West? Well, what if I told you Nicki Minaj didn't really change at all, and despite not even being able to vote, has most likely supported Republicans this entire time? What if I told you that what has actually changed is just our cultural environment in general, which is making many celebrities feel more open about sharing their beliefs beliefs than in
views,
previous
nigga.
years. I mean, in some ways,
This
this
whole
shouldn't
world
be
is fucked
surprising
up.
at all
You
when
know
Nicki
what I'm
Minaj
saying?
and the Barb's
This
mere
whole world's
MAGA
a Ponzi
itself,
scheme.
which we will see,
True.
can also help us understand Trump's rise to fame, celebrity culture, and how a cult-like fandom affects large groups of people. Today, I want to build
It's
on what
like
we
picking
discussed in
between
my
two
previous
different
video
type of
about
evils.
Sydney Sweeney and Taylor Swift,
You know what I'm
explaining the
saying?
fascinating
They
but at
both
times
fuck.
shocking ways MAGA, cancel culture, child abuse, capitalism, and the pursuit of power all tie into the cultural shifts we see occurring today. We will dive deep into Nicki Minaj's childhood, how her background in acting would come to define her theatrical style, to her rise to fame, and how she single-handedly built the modern female rap game, and how, similar to the innovative style of Lady Gaga, she made postmodern camp fashion the standard. We will explore her multiple controversies, as well as the unfair ways she was bullied and treated in the industry, and how that would help set the stage for her later, darker evolution. Nicki Minaj managed to accomplish what few ever do. She completely paved a new lane in the industry, innovating an entire genre and truly reaching the status of a living icon. But we aren't living in the industry of the past. Just as an earthquake can cause a mountain that seemed eternal to melt like wax,
That's a
today
fact.
the carefully crafted mountainous
True.
illusion of Hollywood continues to
It
disintegrate
crumbles.
into dust.
We see that shit is just an illusion, bitch. Fake shit. Rewriting history shit.
Onika Tanya Mirage Petty was born on December 8th, 1982 in St. James, Trinidad and Tobago. Her father, Robert
So her
Mirage,
name
a
is
financial
Petty?
executive and part-time
Did
gospel
her
singer,
husband take
is of
Nicki Minaj's
Afro-Trinidadian
last
and
name?
Indo-Trinidadian descent. Her mother, Carol Mirage, is also a gospel singer with Afro-Trinidadian ancestry. When Nicki was around 5 years old, she moved to New York City while her mother attended Monroe College. This Caribbean New York American cultural fusion would go on to have an immense impact on her identity and future artistry. When Minaj was a teenager, she successfully auditioned for LaGuardia High School in Manhattan, which is a prestigious institution for the performing arts and is actually also what the school in the Nickelodeon show Victorious was based on.
Hey, where's Kat?
Some notable actors that came out of LaGuardia are Robert De Niro, Jennifer Aniston, and Timothée Chalamet. When Nicki graduated high school, she decided to go into acting and was even cast in the off-Broadway play In Case You Forgot in 2001.
I didn't know that.
Call that judge right now. Tell him I can have my baby back. I am not gonna call him.
Here, the intense training gets the better of this young actress. But soon, Angry Phone Girl is ready to showcase her talents for New York's agents and casting directors.
This background in the performing arts helps explain Nicki Minaj's future alter egos and theatrical personality, helping to blend many different styles and personalities to create a character that seemed to morph into whatever the project she was currently working on demanded. In 2004, Nicki would begin rapping and was briefly signed to Brooklyn group Full Force, where she was a part of a rap quartet called the Hood Stars. The group would end up recording the entrance song for WWE diva Victoria called Don't Mess With.
I'ma go do my best stuff, do my best stuff, do my best stuff.
Minaj later left Full Force and began uploading songs to her MySpace profile, sending several of them to people in the music industry. In 2007, Fendi, CEO of Brooklyn label Dirty Money Entertainment, signed Minaj to his label under a 180-day contract. Nicki originally adopted the stage name Nicki Mirage, but she eventually changed it to Nicki Minaj, stating that, quote, "My real name is Mirage. Fendi flipped it when he met me because I had such a nasty flow. I eat bitch." In August 2009, Nicki Minaj was discovered by fellow rapper Lil Wayne, and it was reported that she signed a recording contract with his Young Money Entertainment label.
Don't settle for less. Here's
That November, she appeared with Gucci Mane and Trina on the remix of 5 Star Bitch by Yo Gotti. Minaj also appeared on Bedrock and Roger That on the compilation album We Are Young Money. In 2010, Nicki Minaj would release her debut album, Pink Friday, which would go on to reshape the female rap genre, and the rest is basically history. Minaj would dominate the charts and churn out hit after hit, proving to the world that a female rapper could not only be successful, but also reach a wide mainstream audience and garner a truly dedicated, cult-like fan base. While it's true that the female rap game already existed before the rise of Nicki Minaj, I think it can still be argued that she single-handedly crafted it into a cohesive, solidified genre, undeniably creating a recognizable blueprint that every female rapper after would be influenced by in some way. While Nicki's writing is already widely recognized for its bars and creative layered references, her theatrical personas and fashion sense also radically reshaped the industry. I often say that Nicki Minaj mirrors Lady Gaga and how she so effortlessly innovated a genre and set a standard for every future generation.
And so I wanted to merge Harajuku with Barbie because all girls are Barbies. We all want to play dress up. We all want to put on lipstick and be cute and sassy.
In the late 2000s, the impact of the internet and an explosion of media consumption began to not only give artists an infinite cultural reservoir to
Nicki
draw
Minaj
from
took
for
over the
inspiration,
game at a time
but
when
also incentivize
female
them to
rap
be as
really wasn't
wacky
like
and unique as possible to stand
singular.
out, get
If
clicks,
it was female rap,
headlines, and sales.
you thinking
The
about a
internet
group,
and social media also
or maybe women
supercharged
more. But
consumerism,
other than
giving
that,
us
you wasn't
unlimited
doing no
access to
takeover
practically
shit.
anything with online shopping, overnight shipping, and websites like YouTube, Tumblr, and Pinterest gave us access to all forms of media, which began to be reflected in this mixing and mashing of aesthetics and the increasing abstractification of culture. In the 2010s, we saw camp maximalism become the new norm, and for the first time, it felt like anything and everything could go. Today, it can be hard to believe, but back then, colorful wigs, maximalist fashion, and just a cultural sense of pure postmodern experimentation were truly new and exciting, and contemporary artists wouldn't have their highly theatrical, almost simulated-like appearances if it weren't for people like Nicki Minaj or Lady Gaga. But this constant shape-shifting didn't just affect aesthetics and fashion, but also the identities of the artists themselves. Nicki Minaj would also set a standard with her numerous alter egos like Harajuku Barbie or Roman Zelensky. Nicki would blend her theatrical acting skills with her lyrical craft, helping to create something undeniably fresh, unique, eye-catching, and entertaining. But similar to other female artists, this highly innovative style wasn't always appreciated by everyone and led to Nicki not being taken seriously and often becoming the butt of jokes. Again, similar to Lady Gaga, the camp outfits and transformations were endlessly critiqued and seen as too gimmicky or distracting. This constant ridicule and bullying would lead Nicki to eventually completely strip her sound and aesthetic down to more neutral tones and consistent flows, as seen in the album The Pink Print. One of the biggest memes of the 2010s became Nicki's butt size, where she would later admit that she did get ass shots and that it wasn't really her choice, explaining she was pressured into getting the procedure done to fit hip-hop's strict female beauty standards. This focus on Nicki's body and appearance helped to reflect larger issues facing artists like her, not just with patriarchy and unrealistic female beauty standards, but also just as a black person in America. Imagine being such an innovative, groundbreaking artist, but never really receiving your flowers or being respected, and constantly being perceived as a hypersexualized, cartoonish joke by broader America. All these factors, the bullying, the misogyny, racism and caricaturization, refusal to give credit where credit is due, help to partially explain why Nicki Minaj is who she is today. And I think no matter what you think of her, it's still important to keep all this in mind when talking about her career and where she is today and her perceived downfall. But that being said, now let's get into all the numerous controversies. One of the first artists Nicki would have beef with would be the OG female rapper Lil' Kim. According to Lil' Kim, the original conflict traces back to a failed business opportunity at Cash Money Records sometime around the mid to late 2000s. Lil' Kim explains that she was working with the expectation of being signed or partnering under producer Slim Williams, and that she even recorded a track with Nicki involved. The project would ultimately fall through, and when Cash Money stopped replying, she said she felt used. Lil' Kim further alleges that after that collaboration fell through, Nicki began using flows, concepts, lyrics, and stylistic aesthetics similar to hers on early mixtapes. This led many to start comparing the looks of the two, pointing out how Lil' Kim technically made camp, colorful fashion mainstream in the 90s, with others saying to claim Nicki was copying anyone was a reach, when black women have always innovated fashion and worn different styles of wigs. This beef would end up going back and forth, with Nicki releasing several tracks and lyrics dissing Lil' Kim, like most notably Roman's Revenge.
Little brag about beat you with a padlock. I am a movie. Camera block. You out of work. I know it's tough.
and Lil Kim responding with tracks like on them and the iconic Black Friday.
Who the fuck want war? FedEx me straight to your front door.
Hey boss, can I get...
However, nothing in this beef would really compare to what Lil Kim said about first meeting Nicki back in a 2012 interview, where she alleges that she had a catty, egotistical attitude, with many now saying it aged incredibly well, or that Lil Kim was right all along.
And if you listen to that song, the way I did my vocals, hers were different from how I did my vocals at that time. Shortly after that, she started releasing all these records, doing her vocals the way I did my vocals. I brought a whole new sound. Next thing you know, 2-3 years later, now that she's, moving and moving in the game or whatever, this is the whole new sound. Whether my fans would have liked that sound or not, it was my sound. I brought that to the table. The problem with her is she was very catty with it. I never had a problem with her. I was always nice with her. Always. She was a very obnoxious person, but I was always nice with her. Well, you know the difference with males? They're not like her. She wanted to be the only female out there. So when Baby and them said, we're not fucking with this chick because you can't stand next to her, she loved it. Because she didn't want to stand next to me. I think it's her. She wanted to be out there by herself.
This queen-like, everyone is my son, bow down or face the consequences attitude is something that would become one of the largest things people critiqued about Nicki. However, to be fair here, I think that being famous, or a rapper, or singer, or even just a successful business person in general, takes a certain level of ego and belief in yourself to make that possible. Like, you don't reach the level of someone like Nicki Minaj, or Kanye, or Taylor Swift without first having a certain belief and perception of yourself, which allows you to keep going no matter what, and that hunger for more and do whatever you have to do mindset literally manifests your success. In other words, this isn't just about Nicki or Lil Kim or even rappers in general, but can be expanded to apply to all rich people, and how those at the top will often naturally have more of a cocky, competitive attitude, because most of the time, that's what gets you to that top in the first place. But we'll talk more about how capitalism rewards certain behaviors and how those at the top that so many of us look up to almost certainly got there in unethical ways later on in this video. This beef with Lil Kim would only boost Nicki's popularity, with many instinctively siding with her as the young, fresh artist and viewing Lil Kim as washed up and just bitter at an up-and-coming star. In the years following the beef, Nicki would enjoy a status of not only best female rapper in the game, but the only one, paving the way for an entire generation and remaining largely uncontested. As Minaj became a more seasoned artist, she continued to stay highly relevant through viral memes and consistent collabs, and after proving her versatility and vulnerability on albums like The Pink Print, she truly became solidified in pop culture as the queen of rap. But this reign wouldn't last forever.
See, silly rabbit, to be the queen of rap, you gotta sell records, you gotta get plaques.
On February 23rd, 2017, Gucci Mane would release Make Love featuring Nicki, where she took shots at Remy Ma. Just 2 days later, Remy would respond with the Sheether diss track, and because Nicki then chose not to respond right away, many felt she had fumbled and lost by default.
Free Remy. You know what? Free Remy. You free Remy.
The track alleged Nicki wasn't a real rapper and took shots at her from multiple different angles, including at her mental health, drug use, relationships, family members, and plastic surgery. To make matters worse, Remy Ma was then awarded Best Female Rapper by BET in 2017, ending Nicki's streak, with her never receiving the award again since. Nicki would eventually formally respond to Sheether with No Frauds in March of 2017, but many felt she hadn't gone far enough and that the damage was already done. One fan wrote on Reddit immediately following the beef, Remy said her brother's a pedophile, called her loyalty into question, and said she f***ed her way to this point in her career, and her response is, "You didn't top the charts?" Wow, even Meek put more effort into fighting off his L than that, LOL. Speaking of Nicki's brother, People began to dig up the fact that he is a convicted sex offender and that Nicki had allegedly supported him through his trial and even offered to testify on his behalf. Many found this revelation to be irredeemable, while others felt maybe Nicki really didn't know and was just standing by her family. However, when Nicki chose to reconnect with a past ex, Kenneth Petty, in 2018, some felt there was a pattern emerging. Kenneth Petty is a registered sex offender and was convicted of attempting to rape Jennifer Huff in 1995, who was only 16 at the time. Nicki has repeatedly stood by Petty, and in 2021, Huff filed a lawsuit against both of them, which claimed that Kenneth and Nicki routinely harassed and threatened her to drop the charges and retract the accusation. Ms. Huff said in an interview that she had spoken to YouTube bloggers to defend herself and respond to an Instagram comment from Ms. Minaj that stated Ms. Huff and Mr. Petty had been in a relationship at the time of the assault and that Mr. Petty was younger than Ms. Huff. After Mr. Petty was arrested in 2020, Ms. Huff reconnected with a childhood friend from Queens, the lawsuit says, and told him she, quote, wished it could all just go away forever. Ms. Huff said that the friend replied, I can make that happen. The suit says that a few days later, the friend told Ms. Huff that Ms. Minaj had asked for her phone number, and the rapper later called her and offered to fly Ms. Huff out to Los Angeles or fly her publicist out to Ms. Huff. Ms. Huff said she declined and told the rapper, quote, I need you to know, woman to woman, that this happened. The lawsuit says that there was then a series of encounters where Ms. Huff or her family members were offered inducements if she would recant. $500,000 at one point, $20,000 at another, with a proposed bonus that Miss Minaj would send birthday videos to Miss Huff's daughter. Miss Huff said she declined. In response to threatening calls and her own growing paranoia, the suit says that Miss Huff moved 3 times in 1 year. In January of 2022, Huff would voluntarily drop the lawsuit against Kenneth and Nicki, with many fans claiming it was proof she lied all along, with others thinking the intimidation and harassment probably got too much for her to handle. Nicki would also begin collaborating with Tekashi 6ix9ine in 2018, who was sentenced to 4 years probation in 2015 due to a child SA case involving a girl who was only 13 years old at the time. This understandably led to continued speculation and scrutiny of Nicki, with many fans giving up on her altogether, and others getting genuinely suspicious with how often she appears connected to or publicly defends men convicted of crimes. At the most extreme end of online discourse, some people have even attempted to reinterpret early lyrics in a literal way, specifically the Old Enough Lil Twist remix where Nicki raps, see, little boy, I can be your little teacher, and if you ball, then meet me behind the bleacher. You gotta come hard trying to reach her, cause if we hit it, I might charge you for the feature. Old Enough was recorded in 2009 when Lil Twist was only 16 and Minaj was 27. However, it's also important to be clear here, there are no allegations, reports, or claims that Nicki Minaj has harmed anyone, including Lil Twist, who himself has never suggested anything like that. Interpreting provocative lyrics as evidence of real-world misconduct, especially with something as serious as SA, is widely criticized, as lyrics are obviously artistic expression, not proof of behavior. But as if all these horrific allegations weren't bad enough, the rap industry was also rapidly evolving, with newer female artists popping up everywhere, and Nicki was somehow consistently getting into beef with a lot of them.
Let me shout out some of my fans that are on there. Any names that you see? Nicki M. Daly. Hi, Nicki M. Daly. Asian Doll. Hi, Asian Doll.
There was, of course, most famously Cardi B, who became the first solo female rapper to get a Billboard #1 since Lauryn Hill in 1998, an achievement Nicki was never able to reach. There was also the 2022 Grammys, moving Nicki's song Super Freaky Girl to the pop category, which caused her to tweet that Lotto's Big Energy should also get the same treatment, arguing that there was some sort of bias against her. This would lead to a back-and-forth Twitter feud where Lotto called Nicki a 40-year-old bully, and Nicki said Lotto was a Karen. And how could we also forget during COVID in 2021 when Nicki made it clear she was anti-vax, tweeting, my cousin in Trinidad won't get the vaccine because his friend got it and became impotent. His testicles became swollen. His friend was weeks away from getting married. Now the girl called off the wedding.
Vice gentlemen.
Getting married, now the girl called off the wedding. I swear to God, ever since Trump got elected in 2016, our reality has become so unbelievably strange that it makes me feel like we are living in a satirical film that is so exaggerated it feels too on the nose, and it all just makes me question everything I have been led to believe about the world. Because what do you mean Nicki Minaj is against the COVID vaccine because she swears her cousin's balls are swollen? I feel like every satirical film made about America is just a documentary at this point. Like, you genuinely cannot make this shit up. But anyways, this was one of the first times Nicki was openly political, and many people began to speculate that she was right-wing, while others pointed out that we live in a post-truth world where social media floods us with too much information, and where the truth consistently gets drowned, while controversial, often false information is algorithmically elevated. But if the Remy Ma beef was seen as the first real beginning of the Nicki downfall, the 2024 Megan Thee Stallion beef would be the final nail in the coffin. In January of 2024, Megan would release Hiss, a song where many felt she took explicit shots at not just Nicki, but her husband as well. The lyric, "These hoes don't be mad at Megan, these hoes mad at Megan's law," was thought to be a reference to the US federal law requiring law enforcement to make information about registered offenders public. Nicki responded with the Bigfoot diss track, which was a reference to Megan getting shot in the foot by Tory Lanez, and was also a jab at Megan's height. The track would also take shots at Megan's mother, who passed away due to a brain tumor in 2019. The Barbs also began doxing Megan's mother's grave in response, and Nicki would continuously lambast Megan and her mother on Instagram Live for weeks afterwards. This beef is seen as the moment the court of public opinion completely shifted against Nicki's favor, with many viewing it as even more proof that Nicki will risk her entire career and legacy for sex offenders. Some also began to speculate that Nicki was on drugs, noting that she has a history of addiction because many of her Twitter rants and lives were so incoherent and genuinely concerning.
Lying on your dead mama, lie 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 on your dead, on your dead mama, on your dead, on your dead, on your dead mama. She said she lied on her dead mama, on her dead mama, lied on her dead mama, lied on her dead mama. Now she wanna
Damn, I don't make it stand like what the hell?
Lie, you a lie, you nasty little lie, you bitch always lie, you beat, you fuck your friend, bitch, you wild.
Since the Bigfoot scandal, Nicki has gotten into so many other controversies and beefs that Reddit user Financial Painter 689 made an entire list of all of them, which includes people like Beyonce, SZA, the entire corporations of Instagram, TikTok, Roc Nation's CEO, Ice Spice, Lady Gaga, Taylor Swift, Jay-Z, Doechii, Stormi, and Culture. There have honestly been so many Nicki beefs that I'm sure I'm missing something here. So let me know in the comments whatever I did, because I do want to keep this video under 2 hours. But that being said, let's move on to the present day and Nicki's growing association with MAGA. In October 2025, Trump's granddaughter, Kai Trump, posted a video doing the Bees in the Trap challenge, and Nicki Minaj reposted it, which caught many fans' attention. In early November, Trump posted a lengthy tweet about the alleged persecution of Christians in Nigeria, in which Nicki quote tweeted, writing, "Reading this made me feel a deep sense of gratitude. We live in a country where we can freely worship God. No group should ever be persecuted for practicing their religion. We don't have to share the same beliefs in order for us to respect each other." Which, to be fair, on the surface doesn't seem all that controversial, but many pointed out how it seemed like she was soft launching support for Trump and wondered why she hadn't spoken out about all the other horrific things the administration had been doing. On November 5th, the White House TikTok account shared a video featuring Trump and Melania, which also used the viral Bees in the Trap sound. Nicki responded jubilantly on her X account, writing, "The President and First Lady of the United States of America. Barbs, I don't know which one of you uploaded this to the White House TikTok, but just know, unlimited backstage, Gag City for life." In response to her tweet supporting Trump's Nigerian Christian claims, Ambassador Mike Waltz invited Nicki to speak at the UN, which is how we got this surreal, unserious speech.
Barbs, I know you're somewhere listening.
But she doubled down on this shit.
Much. You have been the ultimate light in my life and career for so long. I appreciate you, and I want to make it very clear once again that this isn't about taking sides. This is about standing up in the face of injustice.
With all of this happening so quickly, many got whiplash and genuinely wondered how Nicki could have fallen so far and so fast. I mean, Nicki isn't even a U.S. citizen, and Trump's illegal war crimes in the Caribbean are directly harming where she was born and raised. But this is where I want to point out that I don't think any of this should really be that shocking at all. While Nicki did allegedly support Obama back in 2012 and Hillary in 2016, she also has several lyrics that say otherwise.
I'm a Republican voting for Mitt Romney. I got a Republican doctor. Made my ass great again.
Whether you're racing in Formula 1.
Clip from Trump's first term.
You have any thoughts on Donald Trump?
No, no thoughts. Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I voted for him.
Oh yeah? What do you like about him?
I wanted to bring the jobs back to America.
And what country?
America.
Nicki is asked what she thinks about him, and she says she has no thoughts, and maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I always felt something about it seemed so disingenuous, like she was acting like she didn't like him because everyone already hated him then. Like, Nicki is a very animated person, especially when she dislikes someone, and when I first saw that clips years ago, I just remember I immediately got so skeptical. But let's say I'm wrong, and Nicki genuinely didn't like Trump originally. Okay, so then what changed? Well, I think it's a combination of factors that we will see doesn't just apply to Nicki herself. First off, I think that due to how she was originally treated at the beginning of her career, constantly being belittled, made fun of, and not taken seriously, gave her this sense of victimhood. And to be fair, I think some of it was justified. I mean, Nicki was a victim of bullying, racism, and misogyny, but as time went on, it seemed like her heart would harden and she would grow bitter, which may have then clouded her judgment. This victimhood is important because it is also integral to the MAGA mindset. Inherent to the MAGA ethos is a sense of eternal victimhood and grievances. Look at the tariffs and how all of America's problems are projected outward onto not just our rivals, but also somehow our allies.
And the government ain't take none of the blame for this bullshit, giving them all that goddamn money on money laundering. They don't think about that shit.
Sold us out to globalized corporations. It's because every country on earth is ripping us off. To MAGA, America is an eternal victim, despite also having the most powerful military that has consistently interfered in foreign affairs. And the Trump voters' mind, their life isn't bad because they chose not to go to college and vote for politicians to sell them out. It's because of immigrants and minorities stealing
I don't
their
believe
jobs.
none of these politicians,
The reason
man.
they
They
can't get
all
laid
work
isn't
for
that
the same people.
they have no personality
They
or
don't give a fuck
emotional
about those
intelligence.
people.
It's because of women and feminism. I think no matter how you feel
We
about
gotta
Nicki
be, as
Minaj,
people, stand up
it is
for
clear she
ourselves
also
at
has
this
some
point,
form
because
of
shit,
victim
we waiting on the
complex,
government.
and MAGA gives
Get
anyone
cut.
who has that personality an opening, no matter how true or
Y'all
false
should have
it
been
may
on see
be.
they was
This is
gonna
why
sell
you
us out, nigga.
always see those posts about how people who get
They only
canceled
work for
into
the real
oblivion
rich
or
people.
just
You
end
rich
up
as hell,
broke
nigga.
always somehow
There you
go
go. You might
MAGA
do some shit.
because
You
it's a
rich as fuck,
movement that
nigga.
rejects accountability
Yeah.
and
You not rich,
embraces
nigga.
blaming
You just
everyone
another nigga on the
else
street.
while also creating a safe
Black,
space
white,
for
or Mexican,
rejecting reality and truth.
kicking niggas around
Now,
this bitch.
one of my most controversial takes is that I think Nicki Minaj being MAGA makes complete sense because to me, the barbs kind of mirror the fascist dynamic itself, just for girls and gays instead of incels and straight men. I know it sounds like a weird
She not even
gay
working with the
meme,
gays
but
no more.
stay with me here. During the election last year, I
You
was
kicked them
genuinely
motherfuckers out.
struggling to
Lil Nas X
understand
done
the Trump
changed their mind,
movement
bitch.
and his appeal. I did understand the left behind working class and resulting distrust for the American government, but I didn't get how his supporters found him funny or entertaining, and how the worse he acted, the more
Because
it
they
seemed
feel
he
some
was
type of
loved.
way
I
that they,
also understood that
let's
a
get
huge
this racist,
component
you know
of
what I'm saying?
fascism
Like,
is
you know what I'm saying? Just in
patriarchy,
general, let's get
toxic
this racist shit
masculinity,
started. Let's
and
fuck some
appealing to
people
straight
over.
men.
So
So I
feel our
then
pain,
asked
how we
myself,
feel,
if
bitch.
we were to flip the dynamic
Bitch,
and
y'all
have
been
a
fucking
gay or
motherfuckers over
female version
for
of
y'all whole
Trump,
lives. Y'all
what
get
would
a
most
little
likely
bit
fit
on the
that
other
bill?
side.
And
They
then
like,
the
man,
Megan
they
Thee
treat us
Stallion
wrong
Bigfoot
now.
scandal happened,
Bitch,
and it all made sense.
we been
Nicki's
feeling like
rabid
this,
fan
black
base
people
taking
in
her
general,
word as
bitch.
gospel and denying
But then the
reality
white
at
people
every
start feeling like
turn.
they,
The
oh,
barbs
we've been
doxing
treated
people and
badly.
genuinely threatening to
Like, the
defile
hell?
Megan's mother's grave. Nicki going on Instagram Live and incoherently ranting, and her fans supporting it no matter what. It was like, no matter what she did, she would be unquestionably loved loved, and the more unhinged she got, the more her fans ate it right up.
I ate him right the fuck up.
Now, obviously, Nicki Minaj is not a politician,
He not
and her fans
hand
are
like a bird.
literally fascists. But this connection clicked in my brain that Trump is not unique. He is a symptom of something much broader in American society and celebrity culture at large. I feel like ever since I understood this cult-like behavior, I began to see MAGA-like dynamics everywhere. Fans that will do anything for their leaders, doxing others, physically harming haters, denying reality, and following everything the leader says. You take that dynamic and introduce it into politics, and you get something that looks awfully similar to MAGA and fascism. It's like it's a uniquely American creation, merging fascism and capitalist celebrity culture.
But
now let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture here. Why does it seem like we live in a world where everyone is turning right-wing and some is supporting Trump? Well, I think it's because, unfortunately, our technological ecosystem favors it. Remember when Charlie Kirk was tragically murdered and we suddenly saw people on the left say he was, quote, doing politics the right way, as in he would go and talk to people, even those he disagreed with, and that we could all learn something from that? I always found that argument very naive because while Charlie did engage in debate, so did the left, like all the time. The only real difference is the reaction the two would receive from the public. Many of the arguments the left makes, despite ironically having virtually zero power in the United States, are widely popular and seen as common sense policies. Everyone should have equality, we should take care of the elderly, the rich should be taxed, corporations should be regulated, education and healthcare should be affordable and better funded. The only problem with all of that is, ironically, its biggest strength, its popularity. In the age of social media, saying stuff that everyone agrees with doesn't tend to generate outrage, get clicks, and therefore gain better visibility. But you know what does? Doing what Charlie Kirk did. Going onto college campuses, acting like you want genuine debate, then saying the most outrageous things possible and denying reality to stir up controversy, which then goes viral on social media. In other words, we live in an information ecosystem that rewards rage baiting and controversy. This benefits the modern right by default, which feeds on culture war and saying crazy shit, which is then boosted by the algorithm and normalized to millions.
Hundreds, if not thousands of years, the absence or presence of a dazzling
to millions. To put it differently, I don't think Nicki Minaj and all these celebrities turning right-wing is as shocking as it seems when our technology is basically conspiring against truth itself. Truth is boring. It's agreeable, obvious, and doesn't stimulate us in the same way controversial trolling or rage bait does. As the quality of education also continues to plummet, and as an entire generation is raised on TikTok and AI brain rot, truth is now a popularity contest, a betting game between those who have the most likes, and increasingly no longer about critical thinking skills or what is logical. I mean, just look at betting companies like Kalshi or Polymarket. The CEO of Kalshi got in some hot water recently when he said the end goal of these companies is to financialize everything in society, make every opinion something you can monetize and bet on.
The long-term vision is to financialize everything and create a tradable asset out of any difference in opinion. And I think if you do build a general purpose exchange that can resolve differences of opinions on anything, like, the TAM is quite massive.
Many found it so incredibly dystopian and depressing, and it is, but I honestly think we are kinda already there. Just instead of bets influencing outcomes, it's likes. We already live in a world where people physically cannot think for themselves and are so flooded with information that the only thing that really sways their opinion on an issue now is how many likes something has and how successful the person who is pushing it is. Those on the right, like Charlie Kirk, may say genuinely insane things, but they have millions of followers online and make a lot of money, so they must be doing something right, right? How many times have you heard someone say something like that in response to a criticism against a wealthy or famous person? Well, no matter the facts, they're still richer and more successful than you, so you're still wrong. This mindset shows us where late-stage capitalism is taking us.
They can make these motherfuckers out of thin air. Get these motherfuckers money and power out of thin air.
Anything can be sacrificed if it means bettering your own financial situation, and if that means supporting a dumbass wannabe dictator's movement, then so be it. Everyone I know agrees that we have a sociopathic narcissist problem in America. I constantly hear people say, why are rich people or those in power always such bad people, as if it's some fluke or mistake? What these people don't seem to understand is that the capitalist system itself rewards sociopathic behavior. It rewards exploitation at every turn and stepping on whoever you have to get to where you are. This is why I said earlier that Nicki's egotistical attitude, while disliked by many, shouldn't shock anyone, because if she were humble, she probably wouldn't be where she is today. In fact, most of our faves, or just incredibly wealthy people in general, wouldn't. In these types of industries, you will always have to sacrifice your morals to get to those capitalist goals, and that is why I always say we should be skeptical of anyone who is massively wealthy or the queen of anything, whether it be Nicki Minaj, Beyonce, Taylor Swift, or billionaires like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. You do not get to those positions without exploitation or compromising ethics in some way. This is why I said in my previous video that I don't really view these celebrities as having a downfall as much as just coming out and embracing who they always were. In other words, what we are actually seeing today is just the artificial capitalist facade falling away and the mountainous illusion that justifies fame and wealth and the lengths people will go to achieve it, continuing to crumble.
Instagram, all that type of shit done. It done woke up the world. Like, niggas, anybody can get it. So if you doing
let me know
anything
what
like
you guys think.
on the other
Do you
bullshit,
still
you know what I'm saying?
Minaj
It's
or
exposing
not,
that shit,
and why?
nigga.
Do you think celebrity culture?
Shout out to Great Minds Blacks. See, the thing about it is, man, the reason the illusion is getting cooked because, like, okay, we got our own personal internet, but that's the thing. It give other people with a different type of mindset to blow up and get into, like, to help other people understand that this shit can be an illusion. So before, back then, it was gatekeeping. Now it's still gatekeeping, but we all get a chance to, like, get our own mind. You know what I'm saying? To be spoken.
Nicki Minaj got a gold
TikTok,
card. Is that a
all that
citizenship card
shit.
that she got?
It helped them get
Did you
richer,
guys see that? Is
but
this the
also
gold
helped them.
membership card, the gold
It helped us to
citizenship card?
expose
That
these
means she's
motherfuckers. So
citizen.
we get to be
United States of America, isn't it
in a
the whole
position
thing that you can pay to get entry into the U.S. and you get a gold card and then
to
you become a
expose the
citizen?
shit.
Right? Nicki Minaj has received Donald Trump's gold card, which grants her U.S. residency. There you go. Told ya. I told you.
Look at this gold
She got
card
a gold
shit.
card, a citizenship card. She has received the gold card, which grants her U.S. residency.
Nicki Minaj has just gotten a gold card from Donald Trump. Do y'all know what this means? All them deportation petitions, kiss ass.
Same.
For the people in the back, the Trump gold card is a recently launched
Nigga,
late
they just said that shit
2025
wasn't even
U.S.
real, but they thought that
immigration
she's already
program that
a
offers a
citizen.
fast track to lawful permanent residency. A green card for wealthy foreign individuals or corporations willing to make substantial financial contributions to the United States government. Bypassing traditional visa requirements. An individual pays $1 million or a company pays $2 million for an employee, along with processing fees to get expedited visa processing, effectively creating a wealth-based pathway to the United States residency. Where the haters at? Call her Gold Card Barbie.
Hello. Well, I don't know what to say, but I will say that I am probably the president's #1 fan. And that's not going to change. And the hate or what people have to say, it does not affect me at all. It actually motivates me to support him more. And it's going to motivate all of us to support him more. We're not going to let them get away with bullying him and, you know, the smear campaigns. It's not going to work. Okay?
She said,
he has a lot of force behind him, and God is protecting him. Amen.
One of our
haters has clocked in. Nicki Minaj has always been a U.S. resident of this country.
Yeah.
She's worked. She's paid taxes. She's done a lot. Nicki Minaj is always giving back and giving money and sending people to colleges and all sorts of stuff. So her giving funds to newborn babies of this country, was real. She tweeted in 2024 that by now she should have a citizenship, and Trump made that happen for her, free of charge. The haters wanted Nicki Minaj not to have nobody behind her and just go away. Just call her presidential Barbie and go call her Barbie. I'm here to tell you God had bigger purposes. Right, Mike?
Pinche Nicki Minaj acaba de poner una foto.
I ain't okay, man. These black hoes be running behind
Puso una foto de la
anything,
gold card,
nigga.
which requires $1 million in contribution to the U.S. Treasury and $15,000 non-refundable processing fee. So la Nicki Minaj is una mega Trump supporter, and she's a legal permanent resident.
I mean, it don't matter to me, shit.
Trinidad,
Ain't gonna change my life.
and
She ain't gonna be no
apparently she's
extra
the
foot on my
first
plate, nigga.
beneficiary of this gold Trump card.
Yo, everybody is saying Nicki Minaj endorsed Donald Trump so she can get this gold card, right? And the gold card lets you not get deported, basically. And it's for celebrities, rich people with money. It's like, oh, you're an immigrant, but you know, you got big businesses or real estate, or you employ a lot of people, or you give money to charities, or you do something we love. You know what? If you have this card, we'll let you stay type shit. So Nicki was on stage, like, you know, talking about she's Donald Trump #1 fan and she love her. I love you. And kiss on cheeks and holding hands and the whole fucking magical kumbaya moment. It was definitely fucking crazy. It was like, why are we doing this? Like, you could support somebody without having to get on stage and say, I support him. You know what I'm saying? So everybody was saying there's a reason behind it. She's doing it for some kind of favor. I was thinking, like, nah, maybe she just likes politics. As soon as she gets off that stage, she posts she posts a picture of the gold card she got from him that allows her to stay in the country and shit.
That
Ain't
black
that crazy,
premium
bro?
card head ass.
Like, how the fuck can we be breaking the rules like this? Like, if they can't be in the country, okay. But you're gonna say some can be if they pay? Like, come on.
You got $1 trillion
Either the rule is the rule or it's not the rule. You feel me? But anyways, how y'all feel about this crazy story?
Well, it's not a Trump check, it's a Trump gold residency card, and they serve basically the same function. Now, I can't even tell if she's trolling or not, because the barbs keep saying, oh, she has a plan, just wait. She's a rage baiter, she's a mastermind, she's playing chess, not checkers. Okay, what is the plan? Do you know the plan? Is the plan in the room with us right now? I'm confused. This does not look like some mastermind situation to me. If this is true, it looks very simple. She wanted something and she got it, and she did what she needed to do and cozied up to who she needed to cozy up with to get it. That's it. And mind you, again, I still don't even know if she's trolling. Nobody has confirmed her citizenship status. Is she a citizen? Is she not?
I don't know. The gold card
is
called the
like
gold
this is some
card.
type of 4D chess match. Like, she just needs 30 more seconds to bypass the firewall and crack the mainframe. Like, that's not what this gives to me.
Well, look what we have here. We found the reason for Nicki Minaj's complete 180 on Donald Trump. The end game we all thought it was going to be. Trump gave her one of his gold cards, a.k.a. a path to U.S. citizenship. Never mind the fact that her husband is literally level 2 sex offender in New York. But then he just fits right into the Trump administration, right? Right? Right. A little glimmer of good news in this whole debacle. Pissed off Ted Cruz, because Ted Cruz really wanted a picture with Nicki.
Did you see
that? He wanted to grab that ass.
Now a U.S. citizen. Check this video out. She got the $1 million gold card.
Hello. Well, I don't know what to say, but I will say that I am probably the president's #1 fan. And that's not going to change.
Remember those $1 million gold cards that President Trump was showing you earlier in the year?
Crazy, man.
That's what Nicki Minaj did. She paid the United States $1 million to become a U.S. citizen and got it fast tracked. But guess what? She's going to be a productive member of the country, not draining our resources. What do you think about that? Leave me a comment, share this, get it out there. I think this is a good thing. If we can make millions and millions and maybe billions of dollars doing this and getting productive people in our country, opening up businesses, employing people, it's a good thing. At least I think it is. Give me a comment, share this, follow me for more.
Soy la fan número 1 de Donald Trump.
The president's #1 fan.
Nicki Minaj recibe la Golden Card de Donald Trump. El día de hoy Nicki Minaj asistió al lanzamiento de las cuentas de Trump. Esta cantante subió a dar un pequeño discurso. Cuando subió se notó que era algo improvisado. Dijo que no sabía qué decir. Lo que sí dijo es que es fan número uno de Donald Trump.
The president's number one fan.
Y que lo que la gente piensa sobre ella y su postura no le afecta en lo absoluto. También dijo que a Donald Trump lo protege Dios.
And God is protecting him.
Después como que algo le dijo Trump, terminó el discurso muy rápido y dijo, me voy por allá. Fue algo muy breve. Esta no es la primera vez que Nicki Minaj asiste a eventos pro MAGA. También ha asistido a eventos de la viuda de Charlie Kirk. Después de este evento, Nicki Minaj publicó esta fotografía, una fotografía de la Golden Card, esta que cuesta $1 millón y que es una vía más rápida hacia la residencia y la ciudadanía estadounidense. Para los que no sabían, Nicki Minaj es originaria de Trinidad y Tobago. Así es, esta isla que está frente a Venezuela. Al parecer llegó a Estados Unidos a alrededor de los 5 años de edad, como un inmigrante ilegal. Después obtuvo una Green Card, pero nunca se convirtió en ciudadana estadounidense. Y al parecer esta Golden Card de Trump va a agilizar este proceso. En este lanzamiento de las cuentas de Trump, que son cuentas de ahorro e inversión para menores de 18 años, Trump está prometiendo que un depósito de $1,000 en estas cuentas a futuro les podría generar miles y miles de dólares a los jóvenes. Esto obviamente dependiendo de la aportación que hagan, pero al parecer aunque no hagan una aportación podrían recibir lo que está de este lado. Donald Trump criticó a los presidentes anteriores que solamente dejaron deudas a los jóvenes y que él está tratando de dar una oportunidad financiera real a futuro. Todo esto pasó el día de hoy en el lanzamiento de las cuentas de Trump.
Son, you move.
That's okay. I think it makes a lot very nice.
It caught my attention right away. I could just tell that this is something that I wish I would have had access to as a kid and as a teenager growing up, because people don't talk about how when you graduate high school, if you're not going to college right away, how scary it could feel. You know, like if you're not having your college paid for, how scary that could feel. So, and tuition is a lot of money, and cost of living is a lot of money, and loans and all that stuff. And a lot of people forget that that's very difficult for young people. They get to the real world and realize, oh, it's not that easy. This is, we're going to have to pay some bills around here. And that's what happened with me. Like, I got out of high school and I thought everything was just going to be smooth sailing. But I realized quickly, no, I have to work. I have to figure things out on my own if I wanted to live a certain way. And that's what I did. If I had access to something like this, my whole life would have been different. So now I'm thinking about, well, those kids that are bright and just don't have, they're not born with a bank account. They're not born with wealthy relatives or parents, but they have so much to offer this world. And now they get to have some sort of hope. And I'm big on hope for children and for young people. They can have something going for themselves at that age, which is going to contribute immensely, in my opinion, to their mental state as well. Because when you have to worry about paying bills, it doesn't only affect your bills, it affects your mentality, your mind frame. And we need our young people to have less stress. They're very stressed out, you guys. So that's what I love.
Somebody come take a look at this. You ruined your entire reputation over something that's going to expire in 3 years. Some people even say you sold your soul to the devil. How do you call yourself being pro-black for all these years, and now you support an administration that is wiping away our history in front of our eyes? But you went on
motherfucker taking out slavery. Well, it's not her history.
for this.
It's taking all shit away.
That's politics, y'all. What do y'all think about this?
Pinche Nicki Minaj acaba de poner una foto. Ay, no, es una puppet. Puso la foto de la gold card, which requires $1 million in contribution to the U.S. Treasury and $15,000 non-refundable processing fee. So la Nicki Minaj es una mega Trump supporter,
So she
and
gay.
she's a legal permanent resident.
That
She was
amount
born in
and she get a
Trinidad,
card. Okay.
and apparently she's the first
This is free of charge,
beneficiary
though. I
of
don't know.
this gold Trump card.
Nicki is good. This is what she wanted all along. I just want y'all to know. She officially has her Trump gold card. Now, if you don't know what the Trump gold card is, let me inform you.
Damn.
The Trump gold card is a new U.S. immigration program
Imagine
for
being an
wealthy
immigrant at this time.
foreigners, offering an expedited path to lawful permanent
But that's
residency,
what they make all the fucking
aka
famous
a green
females these
card,
days. These
in
immigrants.
exchange for a significant
financial contribution to the U.S. government, typically $1 million. $1 million for individuals, $2 million for corporations. There's also a processing fee of $15,000. It looks like Nicki is laughing her way to permanent residency. Money talks.
Imagine.
Because I too was thinking, damn, maybe she wants permanent residency because she is an immigrant. Yikes, Nicki, yikes. She's been real buddy-buddy with this man. She said Trump is her favorite person. I'm wondering if she actually paid it. Because, you doing all this, I hope you didn't pay for it.
But the White House said that it didn't matter. It wasn't real because she's already a citizen. I don't know.
I know she's going to be popping a lot of shit to Don Lemon.
That nigga Don Lemon got locked up. Won't let me out.
Nicki.
So we're fucking clear. The Trump gold card does not give anybody automatic citizenship.
Yeah, that's
It's still a fucking green card. Okay, all it does is expedite the citizenship process. You still got to take the English test. You still got to take the civics naturalization
but
test.
You got to think about these are millionaires. Nigga, they don't give a fuck. Nigga, they millionaires.
If we're being real.
Man,
You still have to be in the United States for 5 years.
But I'm a citizen, but I'm just saying.
Processing time. 5
years
is literally the normal green card processing time. In my opinion, Trump gold card shit is money laundering.
Money
laundering because it doesn't expedite a fuck ass thing. That's why I don't understand what was the point of Nicki Minaj getting one. Obviously, she's being paid. She's trading in some type of service for promoting the gold card program.
Man, they been money laundering. Nigga, they been taking our shit and giving to other seasons, putting that shit on whatever.
For 15 plus years. So it's not expediting shit for her. It's not expediting shit. You still got to take her English test. She still got to take her naturalization civics test.
She ain't got to do
She
shit.
could have done
She ain't got to do shit.
She
kissed the ass right to
just got to the United States. Actually, this wouldn't have been for nobody. Like I said,
for
money
the other
laundering.
niggas, maybe.
I mean that, this program actually makes zero fucking sense. Literally paying tribute to the United States for no extra reason. Guess they saying basically that we not gonna reject your application like we is everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, she already lined up and said she already got it.
We not gonna reject it. That's the vibe I get. Like I said, Nicki's still not a U.S. citizen. She could have been did this without the Trump gold card. So obviously she's not doing this for a fucking citizenship because she could have got it. Been got it.
You're going to want to hear this about Nicki Minaj. Hours after publicly defending Donald Trump at the Trump Accounts Summit, Nicki posts a photo of what she says is a Trump gold card and casually drops that she's finalizing citizenship paperwork as we speak. She claims the card was free of charge thanks to a petition and calls Trump her wonderful, gracious president, while the White House straight up retweets her and links the official Trump gold card website. For context, this gold card is not some novelty. It's a real immigration program that usually requires a $15,000 DHS processing fee and a $1 million gift to the U.S. government in exchange for permanent residency through an elite visa track. Nicki, who was born outside of the U.S., also pledged up to $300,000 to Trump's new investment accounts for American children and called herself his #1 fan on stage. Nothing about this was spontaneous. It was planned, posted, and meant to land exactly how it did.
That's a fact.
I am probably the president's #1 fan.
Insane. Nicki Minaj, you might be correct. No kizzy cap. She might be correct. I ain't gonna cap. I don't like none of these politicians.
Nicki Minaj has shared that she has received Donald Trump's $1 million gold card, which is a fast track to citizenship. Let's get into it. If you didn't know, Nicki Minaj is an immigrant. She always talks about how she came to the USA as an undocumented child. So by his standards, technically she was a blank immigrant. So Trump's $5 million gold card is a visa which essentially serves as your documentation if you can provide to the USA. It says that you have to be able to provide a substantial benefit. And given that Nicki Minaj is a global superstar, whether what we think of her right now or not, she is a global superstar. She was granted this gold card.
But these motherfuckers are racking
So in
up
my
money.
opinion, she literally hustled the public. She hustled Donald Trump. She is hustling the Republicans, and ultimately, she fast-tracked her way to citizenship. And no matter what,
she ain't hustle them niggas. They got money on. Nigga, who gives a fuck?
She has family
she making American more money
working on
because
that
her rap
behind the
and shit.
scenes.
Nicki Minaj just met Trump, and I can't believe that she said this about him.
I am probably the president's #1 fan. And that's not going to change. The hate or what people have to say, it does not affect me at all. It actually motivates me to support him more. I'm not going to let them get away with bullying him and, the smear campaigns. It's not going to work.
Unfortunately, that's not all.
Who's the greatest and most successful female rapper in history? Nicki Minaj.
Not only is she there promoting Trump's investment strategy,
ain't gonna she's
what
smart,
the hell
though.
is this? They are
She's
freaking
smart.
holding hands. We have a picture of Trump and Nicki holding hands.
But we got Trump and Nicki Minaj holding hands before GTA 6.
Everybody wants to know what's going on with Nicki Minaj, Trump, the Trump accounts, and now the Trump Gold Card. But what does any of this mean? I'm here to give you the facts so you can make up your own opinion on what's going on between Nicki Minaj and Trump. So, as you can see, over the past couple months, Nicki Minaj and Trump have been getting very close, and she has showed her support for the Trump administration. Most recently, yesterday, Nicki Minaj was one of the speakers at the Trump Accounts event, showing the new initiative for children being born between now and December 31st of 2028 will be gifted $1,000 just for being born. It is alleged that Nicki Minaj is giving between $150,000 to $300,000 to this initiative. Now, what this initiative is pretty much an account that children will get at the age of just being born that they cannot access until the age of 18. This account is pretty much a high-yield savings account, which will garner interest over the time. So if no money is added, by the time the child turns 18, they will still have $6,000 that they can access. If their parents or caretakers decided to give into the program, let's say $250 for the year, they would be able to get $19,000, and if they gave the maximum donation of $5,000 per year, they would have $271,000 by the age of 18. Nicki Minaj is a part of this initiative, and her $150,000 and $300,000 will be going towards these Trump accounts. From there, after that, you see Nicki Minaj was given the Trump Gold Card. What is that? The Trump Gold Card is the new legalization process for immigrants under the Trump administration. As many of you know, Nicki Minaj is an immigrant who got here illegally at the age of 5 years old from Trinidad and Tobago with her family. With the Trump Gold Card, pretty much she is now on the fast track to citizenship. For most people to get this card, it's a $15,000 processing fee and a $1 million fee to get this. And now they are coming out with the Trump Platinum Card, which was a $5 million fee, and you do not have to pay any taxes on foreign income for the first 270 days of this card. Now, we have all seen what's going on with ICE and how harsh they have been coming on immigrants. And Nicki Minaj even tweeted after this that she received this card free of charge for working with Trump.
Yeah.
Now, with the current situation with ICE and being an immigrant, would you, if you were an immigrant in this country that had success and was able to go be with Trump and meet with Trump to save yourself and your family, what would you do? Would you do what Nicki Minaj is doing in this situation? Please let me know in the comments.
Hello.
Most definitely they are. Without a doubt. You'll be just like that Mexican lady.
I don't know what to say, but I will say that
Donald Trump, yes, he's so great, yes, see.
The president's
that Mexican lady.
#1 fan.
And then after she said, oh no, they scammed us.
Not going to change.
Don't trust Donald Trump.
The nigga. What people have to say, it
like that
does not affect me at all. It actually motivates me to support him more.
Like that, because niggas not going for that shit.
And it's going to motivate all of us to support him more. We're not going to let them get away with bullying him and, the smear campaigns. It's not going to work, okay? He has a lot of force behind him, and God is protecting him. Amen.
Thank you for watching Great Minds Blacks.
I'll be back. So tell me how y'all feel about it down below, bro. Because like I tell y'all niggas, man, Nicki Minaj just trying to get in where she fit in. At this point, bruh, really? Like a gold card, nigga? Like I tell y'all niggas, man, I knew some of this shit was gonna happen, man, because like Man, politics is so fucking fierce. You know what I'm saying? Everyone want they side to win. Everyone want their opinion to be right. They want all this and shit. Not knowing all these motherfuckers are puppets controlled by the same entity. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you only can take this shit with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, bro, we done seen that shit before. That Mexican lady, she cheering for Donald Trump. She got her goofy ass packed up. You know, then, you know, bro, this shit is getting ridiculous, man. I like to be honest, I want to see what's gonna happen next. You know what I'm saying? This whole world is getting fucked over. Like, we been getting fucked over as people, so shit. Hey, by the time the whole world get fucked over 3, so hey, it's what it is. Hood, Northside, big crip in the game, Northside shit.
Hey, Dad, you know, dog, when we link up, dog, this shit be legendary. You know this instrumental, you the engineer on it, so Kodak everywhere.